So good morning. I'm here. It's like 9 something my time. And I just felt like I should pop on here and just talk. Um, it looks a little stormy over here. I'm finishing up too much coffee and I'm probably going to lift after this. I've already got my house cleaned. I like to get stuff done early in the morning. I'm a morning person. I've been sleeping in a little bit more this year just because I feel like I've needed extra sleep. But typically I like to be up. I like to be up early. And so, yeah, I wanted you guys to hang out with me for a minute and kind of hear like my inner thoughts. So, I put that I'm an INFJ because I feel like personality types really do matter. I mean, it helps you like understand who you are, why you function the way that you do. It really takes you into the inner world so you can like not only like understand like who you are so you know that you're not crazy, but also like function with people better. And so it's really insightful and entertaining for me to learn about the 16 different personality types. It's helped me a lot with just understanding who I am and being okay with things that I thought were weird about me, and also how I function with other people and how other people function with me. So it's been very enlightening. If you noticed, I have this cross on. Me and my husband and my family, my 2 girls, just got baptized into the Orthodox Church during right before Pascha. So it was during the hollowing of Hades. If you don't know much about that, you should look that up because it's pretty interesting. So we are Orthodox Christians, and that has been like a journey for me in general because it's different from not only how I was raised, but also like when I did self development spiritually, the path that I went on, it took me obviously to Orthodox Christian, but I was very like pulled to the new age, the universe, the secret type of mentality. And so that's kind of a little bit of what I want to talk about today, is just like, you know, the world, the view of the world, right? And so I'm a life coach, I guess I could call myself. I call myself a freedom coach because I try to help other people become free from the corrupt world, because we are in a fallen world, a corrupt world, a world with very evil intentions nowadays. It's not very good overall. There's a lot of things going on. I think that we can all see that the world's just going in a very wrong direction. My husband and I actually went to, we're like foodies, and you know, we like that type of stuff, right? We like foodie festivals, like foodie restaurants. Like that's actually how we met, is kind of like in that food industry, like a foodie industry. I had a juice bar at the time, and he was selling like his pasture-raised chicken and stuff. So we kind of met in that realm. But anyways, we went to this town near us called Lafayette, and it was supposed to be like a foodie music type festival, and we brought the girls. And as I'm walking along in this foodie festival, like, okay, first of all, just so you know, I'm an INFJ, so I have like judging qualities, and not necessarily like a bad way, but it's just like I just judge things. I like put them into patterns and into categories, and deepen in on those subjects. So that's just how I work. But I just noticed like how weird society is now. It's just bizarre. It doesn't feel normal. It's not normal. And I also look at, because I look at everything in such a spiritual aspect, which I have for a long time, but like I see everything connected with the mind, body, the soul. And then so because I look at it that way, I kind of look at the physical world also as a spiritual world. and how it's a reflection of each other. And so as I'm going through this festival, I just realized like how it just bizarre everything was. It wasn't normal. Like the music was like very dark, and I've noticed this a lot. Like I've noticed this a lot going into like, especially after becoming baptized, like going into stores and stuff, how dark the music is, the wording, words popping out to me that like are kind of scary in some sense, you know, being newly baptized. Like you notice that you kind of are under attack in the spiritual world, because like when you baptize yourself into the realness of Christ, the church that Christ wants you to be in, and you become a part of that spiritual battle in this world, and you become a target, because there is a dark force and there is a good force, and like they want your soul. Like you're not, they're fighting for your soul. I know this sounds crazy to some people. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Comment below. Does this sound crazy to you? But anyways, they want your soul, right? And so you're always like, you're being tempted all the time to like perform these like these rituals and act with your flesh instead of your frontal cortex, instead of what God wants you to act on, right? And so I just noticed, like, you know, same sex relationships, people that were obviously on drugs, you know, very obese people, which to me, like when everything's connected, is just like, they're just really unhealthy. Like their mind is unhealthy, their body is unhealthy, their soul's unhealthy. Something's going on deeper there that they didn't overcome. And so they're feeding it, right? And like, just like people's eyes, like all like zoned out and like almost like possessed. Like these are the things that I notice. I just notice these things. It's just, I've always noticed these things like throughout my life. It's just like more apparent. And so going back a little bit into like this like new age, like the secret, I want to touch on that a little bit, because I still utilize some of these tools, right? I think that, you know, the manifestation, like knowing your goal, having a vision board, having some like mantras or what I would say is prayers now, really, just like kind of navigating that spiritual world in a similar sense. So if you know anything about The Secret, manifestation, mantras, meditation, stuff like that, it's so similar to the real Christianity, what God wanted us to do, that it's almost scary. It's literally like a mirror, right? So like, here's Christianity and here's the New Age, right? And it's like the New Age is like that, like circus mirror, right? It's almost true, but it's like kind of morphed a little bit. And that's where it gets you, right? And so you can travel in the middle, but you're not like participating. You're not like a target in the middle. And so when you have to like choose, you're choosing a side. Are you with the evil one? Are you with God? And you kind of, you're choosing a side. If you commit, right? If you commit to what this world actually is, if you actually believe that there's a God, which you should, because honestly, we didn't put ourselves here. Let's be honest. Like there's no way. Something came first, right? Something, a higher power. And like the whole universe thing is just because people like have this negative view on God, because they don't truly understand it, because we've morphed it so much where he's become a thing that is not understandable. And he put people here on earth to help guide us through that understanding, the apostles, and then down the line into initiation to continue the church. And so we've kind of left all that behind, which is why Orthodox is so appealing to someone that has like went through all these other methods of spirituality. Like, it's funny, right? It's funny to me in some sense, because I've always biohacked myself, like, if you know the term of biohacking or self-development or whatever, you're going through a journey of change and learning and renewing your mind and renewing your habits and trying to reform who you are, right? And so I've done this with diet, with fitness, with teaching people, with my own mental health. And then, with the mental health and spirituality is so connected. and I kind of found this out too. It was a challenge for me. So when you enter into this church, you do have confessions, and it's not like Catholic confessions. So don't be turned away. But you are confessing, and so you actually have to humble yourself, because you're kind of, you're confronting God, and there's just a witness to it. And in that, I actually kind of felt like, I don't know, I felt humbled, and my pride didn't like it, but I felt humbled, but also with the anger of being humbled, because I was a little irritated about that. The things that I confessed that had still been bothering me here and there, I've pretty much healed that myself, but it would occasionally come up, and I would just have these awful feelings about it, right? But ever since I confessed those, I don't have the same feelings with them anymore. I just don't. It's like, if I ever think about it, which is rare now, first of all, my mind doesn't dive into this thought, right? And make me feel terrible about it anymore. It's been lifted. It's been lifted. And I don't even really view it anymore. It's just if the thought comes up, it's just oh yeah, that's been dealt with, right? And so there truly is a healing aspect to this spirituality too, it coming to the Orthodox faith. And so you don't really get that with New Age, right? You can cover it up. You can you can do a lot of healing. You can do a lot of inner healing, but you're taking God out of these things. And so that's what I'm saying. When we go into the secret, the vision boards, the manifestation, all these things, is that you are removing God from the picture. And so there was things on my vision board, and probably to this day, right, that isn't really in alignment with what God wants for me. And I need to pray about that. And there's probably things right now that I haven't even prayed about on the vision board that I'm trying to achieve, right? And I need to do that. So this is a reminder to myself, but also to you guys. If you find that a vision board is helpful for you, which I think that it's a great tool and that should be utilized, keeps you praying about it. God, is this what you want me to do? Is this actually going to benefit me, or is this going to, hurt me in a way? Okay, because God has our best interests in mind. He is our ultimate father, right? He gave us an earthly father, but that's our spiritual father, right? Without God, my parents wouldn't be here, right? And I wouldn't be here. So he's our ultimate father, and he has a grand purpose, a grand will for us. And the reason the world is in the state that it's in, the reason it's so crazy, is because we had turned away and we've made it about ourselves. We've made it where it's our will. It's whatever we want to do. It's whatever we want to manifest. It's, whatever, it's our desires, right? It's not God's desires for us. And his energies, he will lead you to your path. And then that's where you get into trouble. That's where you get into trouble. And so I'd already done that. And it led to a terrible path. And it wasn't where I wanted to be. It wasn't that it wasn't with ill intentions, because I had no bad intentions. I wanted what was, best for other people and what I thought was best for me and other people. But it wasn't the path that God really wanted me to go to, especially in the spirituality realm. And so I saw a lot of darkness there. I'd already seen darkness previously when I was very rebellious and was kind of in addicted to some minor drugs, very about myself. I was doing some good things there, but it was a lot more dark things. And I put myself into a place of like a pure darkness, which then I saw within another individual with me, his face morph into the devil. And that's kind of where it led me to the path where then I kind of got into the new age stuff, just because I got into self-development and trying to improve myself. And that's just where it led me. And I never like grew up in any kind of religious type of environment. Like my dad believed in God. But he also believed in, self-development, achieving goals, having lots of money, building businesses. So I have all that aspect of myself as well, which is why I do the things that I do now. But it wasn't like God's will, or actually, he's the one who showed me the Book of Secrets, and no like illness around that. I think that it's a great helpful tool. I think that that's a helpful tool, that mindset that you can achieve things if you really do put your mind into it and you really do put the effort into it, then you can achieve things. I've done it, right? Like I've achieved lots of different things. But is it God's will for us? And that's like the big keynote right there. Like, does he actually want you to achieve that? Is that the grander purpose for your life? Like, our purpose is supposed to be directed with God, in alignment with God, what he's calling you to do for whatever plan that he has. And so in these like transitions, I found out through my own journey that, first of all, everything's connected, deeply connected. There is a real spiritual world. There is a darkness. There is life, a light side. There is Christ's side. There is an ultimate truth, and that's a who. That's Christ. Okay, his path for us. That you can manifest things, but if you're doing it with yourself and turning away from God, then you're going to be led in a bad direction. But if you're in alignment with God, you're going to be in the direction that he wants you to go. And that doesn't mean that there's not going to be hard times, but it's going to be, worth it, right? It's going to lead you to that path. That is ultimately where he wants you to go. There was tools and all these things that I learned, and it's kind of brought me into this like awareness that, first of all, God has my back. Like, he's pulled me out of so many different situations. He truly has my back. He truly does save me from bad things. He saved my kids from bad things. He saves my husband from bad things. Like, he's truly here to have our back. He wants us to be in alignment with him. And I think that he puts the thoughts and the emotions and the experiences in front of you for a reason. I feel like I went through all that for a reason. Like, I truly do. And so now I'm in a space where, I've learned all these tools, the mindset, the nutrition, the fitness, kind of the lifestyle, like the traditional lifestyle of Orthodox, what that looks like, how that actually disconnects you from the world, but you're still in it, right? You're still in the world, but you are not of the world, right? You are in a different space. You are trying to live more traditionally, more in alignment with God, more doing his work, his purpose for you, taking care of your children, not sending them away into the world, into the institution where it has turned away from God. So there's a lot of things that I was kind of already interested in, but now it's making more sense. So I feel like I'm in another transition, and I've kind of been here for a minute. I've been in this transition because I've always wanted to help people. I'm very in tune with like people's feelings. I can pick out like I'm able to like hear people's tones of voice and understand like when they're kind of telling me like the truth, or where they're kind of hesitant, or when something's really not fine when they say it is. Like even like facial expressions, like I'm able to tune in to all that, and I'm able to feel that. I'm able to feel like a vibe in a room. Like if I don't want to be there, like there's like a lot of hostility, like things like that. I'm able to feel that. Um, I'm empathetic. Like I feel it. I try to turn that. I had throughout the years have tried to turn that off, and I think that because I've been hurt so many times, because I help people and I want to help people, and growing up, I don't think that that was really understood, like how I'm looking for a word here, how ingrained with people's feelings I was. Like, I don't think that that was really understood, that I was just a very feeling type of person. So that was like pushed down, right? I had to push it down. And I've noticed that I can't. I need to open that. I need to open that back up, and I have been. Because like the other part of me is I've always been pulled to people's minds. Like I want to understand people. I want to understand how they function, which is why I really like personality types, why they do the things that they do, what they're really thinking. Like I love, like I always ask my husband, and I know he gets so annoyed, but like, what are you thinking? Like I want to know the deeper insides of people. Like I feel like everyone talks on such a surface level, which drains me. Like I love the weather. Like I love the weather. I love that it's going to, like, I love that it's going to rain right now. Actually, I like rain and storms, and I love beautiful sunshine. Like I love weather. I used to love tornadoes. Like they were so interesting to me. Like, you know, it was just interesting. Like I love that, but I like the depth of it. I love the depth of things. I don't want to be like, yeah, it's a beautiful sunny day and it's hot. Like I want to be like, how's this weather make you feel? Like, it was just so silly. But like, how does it make you feel? Does it make you feel like going on a really, like, I'm a fitness person too. I like fitness because it connects my body and my mind, which I kind of have a hard time doing sometimes. So it puts me into like this alignment state where I'm like clear. I'm clear. Like I feel like I'm clear. So and food can do that too, depending on what it is. But I want to know like the depths of like, does it make you want to go on a really like hard run? Or does it like get you pumped? Like what, like, I don't know. Like, I just want to know deeper things. Like how, like spirituality, like how do you feel about spirituality? Why do you feel that way? Nutrition, like what have you done? Like, why is that not working for you? Like, how can we dig deeper into that and like also figure out why you're eating all this sugar and grain? And like, is it because it's like pure motivation to get bigger? Like what I'm like currently doing, like I'm not like really on a set like diet right now, or is it because you're covering up feelings? Like I want to know the ins and outs of everything. And so that's how I work. And because I love that stuff, I've always been like internally called to like, well, not only coach people and heal people, but also like yeah, like counseling, psychotherapy. Like I want to dig deeper. Like, I don't know how else to say it. Like doing fitness coaching is awesome. Like things get pulled out, but they don't always get pulled out. Like I want to know more about you. And what's funny about the INFJ, by the way, if you don't know, is that the INFJ is they want to know everything about you, but we have INFJs have so many layers, and we're also like called the like chameleon personality because we're able to like shift. We're able to shift because we feel what people need in some sense. Like, so we're able to shift ourselves to help help you get through your stuff, which is super weird. And it's weird. It's only weird because I just figured out like why I do the things that I do. Because I always just thought, well, this is just me, but at the same time, like I didn't understand that. Like I just thought it was weird. But like if you're an INFJ, which is one of the rarest personality types in the world, which is I think it's like 3% is tops. So it's a very rare personality. But I'm able to like shift into what people need, which is why I feel like I'd be a great psychotherapist and coach. Like I'm just able to do that, and I like to help people grow. Like I'd like to pull the good things out of people and help like bring them to the next level. I just like to do that. I don't there's nothing wrong with me, but that's just what I like to do. And so yeah, so like the world like is in this like, you know, obviously awful state right now. Like I like to be idealistic. I like to look at pessimistic personality where like my fear can overcome if I'm not careful. So I like to look at the good things because I can go down deep rabbit holes of the dark things because my mind focuses into a point. So like even if I have all these ideas, it zooms way into things, which is good for counseling and psychotherapy and coaching. But you know, it can be bad. It can be bad when you're focusing in all these dark sides of the world. So what's my point here? I'm just sharing things with you overall. I'm just sharing because I feel like I do better in a sharing setting, especially if I'm just not like coaching someone where I can dive into them. I'm just kind of sharing my thoughts and my thoughts about the world. And so if you are into a place in your life where like you see all these negative things, maybe just about your own life or about the world, and you're struggling, right? You're struggling. I want to help you for one because I've navigated enough of these healing paths to like help people through them, and I continue to study them. And like our biggest problem is that we've turned away from God. We've put God to the side instead of being in alignment with Him and what He wants for us, and trying to do all these other things that like don't really matter. Like they might to an extent, but they're not the sole purpose, right? They're not the sole purpose. So that's why the world is in the place that it is, because we've turned away from God. We've made it all about ourselves. We're trying to we're like struggling with all these issues without giving it to God and letting Him heal us, and being in His church and being around people that can help you do those things, right? You know, and going through His sacraments, the things, His energies, the things that He wants for us, right? And so if I truly believe if if eventually everyone would just come to repentance, right? If they would turn away from themselves and focus back on God, right? Start praying again, start asking for Him to heal you, start listening more, stop being so busy. That's like the devil wants you to be busy. He doesn't want you to sit and know God is there, right? He doesn't want you to do that because that takes you off of His path, and He doesn't want us to be with God at the end. And you know, I would go deeper into that, but I'm not going to today because then I'll just go into a whole another thing. But I hope this opens some eyes for you. Maybe makes you think a little bit. And reach out. I am open to doing some mindset counseling calls at a very, very low cost, like donation based, because it's going to become a more prevalent thing. Like the world isn't going to get any better anytime soon. It's going to get worse. And so I feel like people are going to need help. People are going to need mental health. They're going to need to, eat better to shift their body into a healthier state. They're going to need to get in some prayer and some physical activity. Like, things are going to need to shift if you're going to deal with everything coming in this world. And so I want to be here for that. So I've been trying to figure out exactly how to align what I'm doing with what God wants me to do, because I know that I went through that journey for a reason. And I know that I'm being called to do some sort of psychotherapy with people, more counseling, more diving into the counseling aspect of that, while also being the best housewife and best mother that I can be, because that's number one, because they will be here right after me. So I need to focus in on them, as well as do a little bit of helping other people do the same thing, right? And so that's kind of where I'm at. So I've been trying to come into alignment fully, and I know that eventually that's going to click for me. All that will come into alignment for me. But if you are struggling, if you're struggling with your mindset, with your health, with your fitness, with your life goals, if you are trying to remove yourself from this corrupt world, you want to renew your mind, you want to renew your physical body, you want to renew your spirit, please talk to me. Like, please reach out to me and let's talk about what you're going through, what you're struggling with. And let me help you. Like, it can be donation based. You don't have to pay me a dime if you don't want to. I just want to help. Like, that's what I'm here for. So if that's something that you need, just leave a comment or go to my website, which is boudicafitness.com. So BOUDICA fitness. And that may change at another time. Or I may just I'll probably just add it in the tabs, like mental health coaching or something. I don't know. I'm waiting for the message. But go there and send me an email or message me through there, or find me on Facebook. And you can find me on Facebook through those means. But yeah, that's just what I wanted to share. I just wanted to sit down and share that stuff with you guys. I don't know if it made sense. Maybe it didn't, because kind of my thoughts come from everywhere, and then I kind of dive deep into them, and then I move on to the next. So hopefully this was beneficial for someone, and I will chat with you guys later. I'm going to try to do more videos, but at the same time, my motivation has changed around it, because my main goal is being a mom, and teaching my children and trying to be back into society. This virtual world, this is going to end up being probably the most corrupt place. It already is. And so I've been trying to maneuver more into physical interactions again, which is hard for people. It's not the same. People don't show up for things anymore, which is weird, but that's kind of where we've gotten ourselves to. So I've been trying to move back into more physical interactions, which has been nice. And like I said, I'm an introvert, but I also I'm a weird introvert. I need to have social interactions sometimes, because I feel externally, I don't know. It's harder to explain. You probably don't even need to know it anyways. But so yeah, I've been trying to move into that space a little bit more too, but I do occasionally want to get on here and help people that are not in my area, because I know that people are going to need help all over the world. So if that's you, reach out to me. I'm going to get off here and begin the rest of my day. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Have a good one. Bye.